Wendell.
Me!
Hey! Stop! Stop! Just stop! He's not. Oh my God! Are you kidding me right now? This is my.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? You don't have to be racist to call spade a spade. I am not racist. But if you watch this video properly, take your time, you're going to see the problem with what's going on in these streets. 2 minutes. You're going to see a back and forth, a bunch of back and forth with a civilian. The question that I would like to ask is it he has the complexion for the protection? Is it his epidermis that is allowing him to not get killed, not get shot? I mean, he did everything illegal to give them the right to shoot him, to tase him. And at no point did they tase him or shoot him. They were so composed. They maintained a level of composure even when he took the baton and whipped them with it. Used a rock in his hand as a weapon. And at no point did they feel as though he was a threat to their life where they had to use deadly force at no time. Even when they're being slapped in the face with a baton.
You're gonna get in trouble.
Now, answer me this question, ladies and gentlemen. If this was a darker shade of melanin, if this was a brother from another mother, would he have survived? 10 seconds go by, 15 seconds go by. How many bullet holes would have been in this car? I'm done. You make the judgment. This is America.
Two sides to bigotry, and there are no two sides to hatred. And if you choose to march with a flag that symbolizes the slaughter of millions of people, there are no two sides to that. The only way to beat the loud and angry voices of hate is to meet them with louder and more reasonable voices. And that includes you, President Trump. In fact, as president of this great country, you have a moral responsibility to send an unequivocal message that you won't stand for hate and racism. Now let me help you write your speech here a little bit. As President of the United States and as a Republican, I reject the support of white supremacists. The country that defeated Hitler's armies is no place for Nazi flags. The party of Lincoln won't stand with those who carry the battle flag of the failed Confederacy. Was that very difficult? You see, I told you. I have a message to the neo-Nazis and to the white nationalists and to the neo-Confederates. Let me be just as blunt as possible. Your heroes are losers. You're supporting a lost cause. And believe me, I know the original Nazis. I was born in Austria in 1947, shortly after the Second World War. And growing up, I was surrounded by broken men. Men who came home from the war filled with shrapnels and guilt. Men who were misled into a losing ideology. And I can tell you that these ghosts that you idolize spent the rest of their lives living in shame. And right now, they're resting in hell. I know that you weren't born with these hateful views. No one is. But the truth is, it's never too late to make the choices, to learn and to evolve, and to understand that all human beings have equal value. If you say, Arnold, hey, I was just at the march, don't call me a Nazi, I have nothing to do with Nazis at all. Let me help you. Don't hang around people who carry Nazi flags, give Nazi salutes, or shout Nazi slogans. Go home. Or better yet, tell them that they're wrong to celebrate an ideology that murdered millions of people. And then go home. You're so lucky to live in a country that gives you every right to say horrible things. But think about how you could actually use that power for something good. Those of you who have been silent, you must also evolve. I have learned a long time ago that the only way we can really eliminate hatred is to face it head on. This is not always comfortable, of course, but stereotypes about racism, religion, gender, anything else, they're like cancer. If you had a tumor, you wouldn't quietly hope that it slowly disappears. You would zap the shit out of it with all the chemotherapy and cut it out and try every experimental treatment until it was gone. But this is no different. I mean, this is a difficult time for our country, of course. But I know that if we all have the courage to do something about it and to do the right thing, we come out stronger in the end. I've already donated some money to the Simon Wiesenthal Center, named after a great Nazi hunter, who I was lucky to call a friend. And I hope that you will join me by supporting your favorite anti-hate organization. Let's all commit right now to leaving the terrible ghosts of the past in the trash heap of history. That's where they belong. Now share this video if you think that hatred has no place in America. Let's terminate hate.
This situation, however, has me so bothered, so pissed off. Watching the video yesterday, I don't give a rat's behind what transpired prior to this cop holding this man down. It does not matter, simply because the fact of what I saw was this man was fully detained and no longer struggling. He was handcuffed, belly down on the freaking ground, and yelling, well, not yelling, I'm sorry, barely breathing, right? Pleading for his life that he couldn't breathe. This person was no longer a threat. I don't care that he got fired. Who cares that these police officers got fired? I want the gosh darn trial to start, because this was straight up, no questions asked, murder. This was murder. This was a lynching of sorts. Whether it was racially motivated or not, I don't care. I don't care if the man was black, if he was Oriental, if he was Hispanic, or he was another white man. What happened was straight up murder. Now, with that said, I am not going to detract from the fact that this was a black man. I don't get the racism thing. So I have been one of the people that have been like, no, this can't be racially motivated. You know, and I hear the black community with, you know, the Black Lives Matter and all this stuff, and I hear them and saying there's so much racism going on. And for people like me that don't have a grid for racism, I don't see it because I don't relate to it. So first of all, forgive me for not having that lens. I don't ever want to have that lens. But I don't also want to detract from my brothers and sisters that are going through hell. And if that is the case, it is going to take every freaking white American to stand up and make a difference. To stand up and say, oh, hell no, not in my country, not on my watch, not in my lifetime. This is going to stop. If this is actually what's going on, that we have black Americans that are literally afraid of law enforcement because this kind of crap is going on, it's not the black Americans' responsibility to stand up and try and change that. If it is rooted in racism, if it is rooted in any kind of white supremacist crap, it is our job to stand up. I will tell you that I have been one that's like, okay, so when there's a Muslim terrorist attack, the Muslims need to stand up and reject those people out of their religion, right? The peaceful, loving, wonderful Muslims need to go, oh, hell no, you're not Muslim. Get the hell out. I'm saying the same thing for white people. We need to stand up and look at whoever this is, whether it's law enforcement, whether it's whatever organization of white people, and say, oh, hell no, you are not American. Oh, hell no, you don't embody what we stand for. And oh, hell no, you're not welcome in this country, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know how to fix this problem other than every white American using their peer pressure and saying, this is not okay. It is long past time to stop it. America is supposed to be a city on a hill. America is supposed to be a light to the rest of the world. And I tell you what, where the hell's the light? Where's the light? This has to stop. Love you guys.